of God is alive and active, sharper than any two-edged sword. And the Word of God tonight is creating a line. The line created by the Word of God tonight, I want to show you what it is, but the line created by the Word of God is a line that can be drawn with the point of the sword, and the placement of the sword is particularly pointed right onto our hearts to pierce our hearts, so that, as we said, create me. Or however it went, that really cool responsory song. It was good. I was going to make up another one, but did a good job singing on it, and everybody did a good job singing. But so that the heart can be purified, because when the heart's not purified, even if somebody says, I don't believe in God, okay, good for you, congratulations, you know. So don't then believe in God. But you need to believe in love, because if you don't believe in love, then your heart's not going to be pierced. If your heart's not going to be pierced, the love's not going to be able to come out. If the love doesn't come out, you're going to explode. And if you let the love in, you're going to explode. So either way, if you say, I'm going to explode, then what the heck, I might as well explode. Congratulations. But there's explosions that are destructive, and there are explosions that are constructive. And there are explosions that tear down the human family, the family of God. And there are explosions of love that necessitate the building up of God. The heart needs to be caught with this line that the Scriptures gives us tonight. Because if not, then our love will be impoverished. And if we settle for the impoverishment of love, which is basically marinated in a destructive, ugly, nasty kind of puny, narrow-minded, little stingy, non-energetic, passionless selfishness, then that's exactly what you're going to get. As the saying goes, y'all get what you pay for. Buy the cheap shoes gonna break. Even buy expensive shoes and let them wear it down and don't fix them, you're going to get a backache. Did you ever notice that somehow? I noticed it. I got these shoes right here, check right. These are like Merrells, I really like them, you know. And these ones are new ones, and these ones these are thermal, kind of warmy ones, and I thought I'd coming up to Nova Scotia, it's going to be cold, and look at that. It's been really nice lately, but that's cool. But, you know, and I have the warmer versions of these, and they're like slippers. Like the day you buy them, they feel like slippers. And so I wear them all the time, and I wear them right out. And they even feel more comfortable. I don't even have to put the shoes on. I just go, and they just come right over, and they just jump on my foot, and it's amazing. But you know what happens? Because I was walking around with these so comfortable shoes, like I couldn't believe it. You know, I started having issues with my back. Now, who's going to start thinking that shoes is going to create, that goes on your feet, going to create issues with your back? Who's going to start thinking that? Maybe somebody who knows, because they're smart enough and intelligent enough and selfless enough to actually listen to somebody who's giving them truth and wisdom. Or maybe somebody who's been there and done that, who wore those so comfy shoes, you know, and didn't want to break out of their comfort zone. And then they had to all of a sudden spend all this money, waste all this time, go ouch, 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 every step they take, because their back hurts. And then all of a sudden go to the doctor, and the doctor will say, we need to change your shoes. Change my shoes? What's that got to do with my back, doctor? And then when you change your shoes, you all of a sudden get good supportive shoes, and like a week later, you're like, hey, check that out. Ooh, back feel good. I changed the shoes, and it affected my back. You know, sometimes people don't make connections like smoking with cancer. Sometimes people don't make connections like safe sex with AIDS, because they think, that can't happen. That's not supposed to happen. And sometimes people don't make the connection with God dying. Because they say, well, that's not supposed to happen. And I don't believe in God. And if God dies, I don't know if that's the kind of God that I want to believe in. But that's essentially What happens? In the first reading tonight, now let's look at this line. In the first reading tonight, Jeremiah, I believe chapter, I was going to say 31 and it is 31. When in doubt, check it out. Jeremiah 31 talks about the new covenant. In Hebrews, I think it's chapter 5. Chapter 5, am I right? Chapter 5? Yes, ma'am. Chapter 5, letter to the Hebrews, second reading chapter. So we got Jeremiah 31. God is talking about this new covenant. In Hebrews chapter 5, we hear about the obedience which made it possible for Jesus to learn something in his suffering, which allowed the love to be perfected. And because Jesus learned something from obedience about suffering, which allowed love to be perfected for all of us, then he can say, when I am lifted up on the cross, and he really wasn't exactly thrilled about it, really. Because listen what he said tonight. He says, now that my heart is troubled, what am I supposed to say? Father, sorry, gotta go, I'm busy. Well, now that my heart is troubled, excuse me, I'm not going. You know, getting into this radical, dramatic, extreme kind of selfishness, which just thrives on saying no because I have a yes for myself. Yeah, you interrupted right now. Whether it's a parent and a child, nuns in the community with experience, priests, deacons, bishops, parishioners, music director, music ministries, bus driver, speed limits. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. Because if love is not going to be lifted up, and if you and I are not going to be lifted up by love, then this line, which I'm creating, that we see in the scriptures tonight, which really needs to be traced by the point of the Word of God, which is sharper than a two-edged sword, so that it can pierce and penetrate not just our hearts, but to go deep down into the marrow of our bones. Then love will be impoverished. The great John Paul II, my hero, came here to Nova Scotia, 1984, and I seen the plaque on the outside of the cathedral this afternoon, and I stopped in there and I went and I said a prayer this afternoon, and when I went in there and prayed this afternoon, my heart was troubled. Not because of the cathedral or anything like that, but just stuff that I'm going through, my family, my sister, particularly. And I had to allow that line to pierce my heart so that my heart could be clean and purified. So that I could let my heart be lifted up by love. So that I wouldn't sink down into the bowels and to the filth of my selfishness. Because if I did, I would have. And if I did, and if I would have, there definitely would have been some more nastiness that would have wanted to come out of my mouth. Something that I might have said. But by the grace of the perfection of that love that lifted me up, believe me, I was able to shut up. And sometimes, people who don't believe in God might not believe in miracles. Let me tell you one, there's one that's called the shut up. There's the miracle of the shut up. To shut up the heart, first of all. Because Jesus says that the mouth speaks from the abundance of the heart. And when your heart is so full of yourself. Why? I need to speak to you later. But when my heart gets so full of ourselves, sometimes that stuff comes out the mouth. And why? It is like 101,000 million reasons why. But the foundation of every reason is because love is not lifted up. And we, consequently, have not, well, love has not been lifted up in our lives, and we, consequently, have not been lifted up by love. And when the great J.P. came here to Halifax, Nova Scotia, it was in 1984, on September 14th. He said, the lifting up of Christ on the cross gives a new beginning to the lifting up of humanity through the